All right, so sticking with TV one more time, yes, right. So we will talk about The Boys Presents Diabolical, right? This is an animated anthology series that is based off of the world of The Boys, right? Ricardo and I, we've covered the first two seasons. Ashton, I know you've checked it out. You've probably read the source material, before us, well, I honestly haven't read any of the books at all, right? So I went into season one of The Boys completely blind. I was blown away by it. Love it. Second season's just stepped things up, even more. I didn't expect that, but yeah, totally love that second season as well, right? On the subject of that, though, today at the time's recording here, we got the first teaser trailer for season three, and just to talk about it quickly, though, I do like the fact that it's just this music video, and just the moment I heard the instrumentation and the vocals, it was Imagine Dragons. It's like, of course, it's Imagine Dragons, right? But just the way, just to talk quickly about the trailer, right? Just the way how they just put everything together, though. Yeah, I was digging that. I mean, I know it's kind of cliche to say that, right? When it comes to trailers, right? But yeah, this
They
season,
kind
yeah,
of overusing Imagine Dragons nowadays, I think.
boy, like I think it's because of Arcane. Maybe it's
Nah,
the,
right,
maybe it's
people,
the successor
right,
Arcane or something.
yeah, but like a good chunk of people using it too. I see it like before about 2 or 3 other times. Yeah, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's something about the way how they do arena rock, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah,
right?
it's cut. Yeah, it is cut nice.
Yeah, it does, right? But yeah, even though I have little to no idea what's going on, like I am familiar with what happened in the second season, right? Just marginally. I really do need to recap it, right? But yeah, what they're promising with this third season is just OMFG on top of OMFG stuff, boy. There's just a lot that they throw into this trailer, boy. Even right down to the butcher having powers.
Right,
That's the one that caught me
Yeah,
completely
yeah,
by surprise. I'm like,
that kind of
what?
stuff is sticking in continuity with the books actually, so that's
Okay.
actually pretty good. There's also some very interesting news, I guess. Interesting is there's also some news on that new character, Soldier Boy, played by
right,
Jensen Ackles.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, so
Is he the guy that we see the end of the trailer?
he is a very Captain America looking type dude.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
that's him. That's him. The guy at the end of the trailer, yo, I just looked at it and I can't even remember, But I was thinking it may have been Black Noah without the mask on.
Right. But
Okay.
I remember
Okay.
the comic. I remember the comic, the big twist with him.
Yeah, that was
But
serious.
I didn't think they would have changed it.
So I'm wondering if they're gonna reach all the way there in
Right.
this season now. So that's
Right.
why.
All right. Now you're making me want to read the comics now, boy.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
they changed a bunch of stuff already. No, yeah, because they changed a bunch of stuff already. I think I know what the new twist with him would be. To be honest, but whatever, we'll see.
Yeah. But other than that, though, I mean, even though I've just seen this just a few hours ago, I dug this trailer though. It's especially just the way how it's cut to that Imagine Dragons song. I think it works so. But yeah, points for Amazon Prime though for just stuffing in just as much violent and sexual content. It is 1 minute and 46-second trailer though. Points for that though. But yeah, just a lot of like just hints at what to expect. Or even I see a little musical sequence here, there. I'm like, all right, what's going on here? I mean, but we have to wait until June 3rd for season 3 to drop. Well, on a weekly basis, of course. So, yeah, your boy excited, man. I don't know if you guys have anything to say quickly on this teaser that dropped today.
Yeah, not really. I mean, it didn't wow me. It's fine. It's a thriller. It didn't. I'm surprised. I was expecting more, but because I'm not a big huge fan of this franchise and how they're doing it, to be honest, like I enjoying it but not loving it. I thought I would have been more excited going forward, but yeah, it's just it's a trailer and we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Ashton, anything before we move on to Diabolical?
Yeah, well, I mean, to echo what Ricardo just said, right? Knowing the source material and knowing the show is knowing two different things, right? So for me, I'm excited to watch it as a show, but I am not like a diehard, kill hard fanboy because it is very far removed from the source material when you actually line it up now.
Yeah, the problem is that from season 1, one of the problems I had with it, and even season 2 still had the same problem, which is it's a little on the dated end when it comes to its social commentary. It's more Bush administration stuff.
Yeah,
to be honest.
that's the problem with shows now, because
Yeah.
if you was to take the original source material and transpose that into this media currently, there's so many
Yeah.
things that they see in that, my friend, will have people ripping out their snowflakes.
Like whoever is Amazon, like whoever, they could get away with that kind of stuff. But my thing is that just the actual, like, what you're trying to say and do is like, oh, that guy hasn't been president for a while now. So it's like, I don't really know what you're trying to go for. To be honest, that's why I'd never really like it never stick with me as a show.
Right.
However,
Okay.
it's still good and funny for the
However, it's still good, so I'm still excited to watch it. But yeah, I'm good. Like, Diabolical is giving me more charge to watch it.
Exactly. Right. I thought Dialogue was excellent. So we could talk about that.
Yeah. We're gonna jump into it, right? So it's 8 episodes here, right? So we're just gonna run through each episode and just share quick thoughts on it, right? And then we'll just give our final opinion on this series here, right? But to kick things off, yes, so it's set in the world of The Boys itself, right? But it's just each episode, as you'd expect from an anthology, is just telling its own story, but it uses each episode uses a different animation style, right? So the first one, we have Laser Babies Day Out. This one is more harkening to like the 90s, more Warner Brothers, Steven Spielberg style animation, like what you see with Animaniacs or Hysteria or Tiny Toon Adventure, stuff like that, right? And essentially, it touches on something that was brought up in the TV show itself, being Voight itself, right? And how they were basically like just injecting kids with compound V, like babies with compound V, and just basically watch them grow, and they have powers and whatnot, right? And there's a recurring theme that shows up throughout this season here, which actually surprised me. Like, I thought they was just going to touch on this compound V thing once, but they actually shows up numerous times in this series here, right? So yeah, what this is in a nutshell is just this lab assistant, and he's like more or less monitoring this baby who has laser vision powers and all that kind of stuff. But like Voight kind of sees the child as like, well, she's not really doing anything, so he might, get rid of her, right? That's all I'll say. But he's like, no, and well, he tries to, free her, and then later on in the show, she realizes, oh, she has these laser eye powers, and you could tell what happens. It's just this cute baby, and she's just cutting down, mowing down, Voight guard after Voight guard, splitting them in two, heads exploding, all that kind of stuff. And it looks zany and silly and funny because it's the style of animation, and because they're going for that same Warner Brothers style. You're hearing that sort of Mickey Mouse and style of like the audio, the music, and all that kind of stuff.
And xylophones. And
xylophones. So that bam, so you hear that short, right? Even though you see characters die, right? This one, I would say is the strongest way to open the show, though. But it does give you an idea of just that subversive, irreverent humor that the show is going for. Yeah, because this is exactly the vibe of the show going forward. It's just ultra violence, but it's just done in cartoon form, right? So you either take it seriously or not, right? But given the style of it, of this particular episode, of course that's supposed to take it seriously. Even right down to the child who's doing the powers. And for the life of me, I swear, like, I saw that design of child of baby in another show, but I just don't know where it's from. I know I saw that exact or similar artwork of a baby. Same artwork, everything in another show. I just can't remember, right? But I mean,
probably Animaniacs episode or something like that.
Probably.
I can't think of it.
Yeah, and similar thing. Oh, the baby's running. We have to get the baby. And no, the baby's in this this this
construction site.
Construction site. That's it.
And then
That sounds like it could be like one of the same Animaniac shows, the little side shows that happen on the show itself. Yeah, like dog
it really does feel familiar. Like we've seen this hundreds of times before.
But that art was nice to see. It gave you a little nostalgic feel, especially with the twisted Boys universe.
Yes.
And I
but this worked for me. Just to say in general, this worked for me. But I'm glad that this style was just used once, because if they were going, I just saw glimpses of the trailer prior to watching this. If they had just gone with the straight trailer, just been like, all right, what are they doing, right? But in terms of what they were going for, yeah, I think this worked, man. This worked. Not one of my favorites, but I enjoyed this. So Ricardo, thoughts on this episode here.
Right. I actually thought it was a good way to start this, just to get what we're going for as a central conceit. Is like, right, the whole point, because that's the whole thing with the boys universe, right? It's just, or at least the TV show's version take on the matter, which is, oh, look how nice everything is, and then fucked up thing, injected in that now. So you'll have nice artwork and it's cute and funny, and then you see a guy's whole head split through his jaw or something like that because of the laser, right? That's pretty much the selling thing, and I didn't have a problem with any of that. I actually thought this was good and really hilarious, and it worked for what it was trying to go for and do. I had almost no problem with it, to be honest. I had a lot of fun with this first episode.
Right. Ashton, your thoughts on this first episode?
Yeah, the first episode was good, but I want to get to the episode I like. So good first episode. Good first episode. It was really
all right. There's an episode that all right, I'll put it like this, right? Just a little spoiler. There's an episode that I really, really, really enjoy. Just had the most fun with. And there's one that is easily the best, like just arguably the best out of this entire series, right? But we'll get to that very soon, right? So second episode, just talking quickly, we have an animated short where pissed off soups kill their parents. I love that. I love that title right up.
Right? This episode was so flicking good. Oh my god.
It was. I just love how it pokes fun at the whole X-Men trope where, this character could do this, and this character could do that.
I can put papers anywhere.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And just
right, this one is the one with the useless powers people, right?
Yeah, the useless powers.
Right? Useless powers.
Right.
And it's actually co-written by Justin Roiland, and it makes Roiland, sorry.
Yeah,
and it makes sense that you hear his voice. I was like, oh shit, of course he's in this.
And in his art style, right?
Right, it's the same Rick and Morty people, yeah.
Yeah, but the concept of this is great though, where it's just these characters with pretty useless powers, and they all realize, oh, it's our parents. Our parents put us here and forced us to get injected with compound V and all this kind of stuff.
They learn the truth about right.
So this Hatch's plan to just seek revenge though. I'm not gonna spoil the song that they used during the montage when they kicked things off, but that was pitch perfect in my opinion though. I was like, wow, round of applause. I love that. It totally works, right?
That's part of his power, right? That's the only song
that's his power. Play. Yeah, that's his power. Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's the only song he could play. Yeah.
Yes. There's one character with like a boombox for a head, and that's the only song he could play, right? I was picking up on certain voices. Like I heard Eugene Mermandred, Gene from Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you this one?
Right. Yeah.
I hear Justin Roiland, of course. I hear Ben Schwartz. Like what? I hear Keenan Thompson. Like what? You with this?
Yeah, they get a lot of big voices in this. We got one of the
Christian
ones that
Slater was the narrator. Though. Like what?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Throughout this whole thing, I was surprised how they got surprisingly big voices for all of this stuff. We got have one later that are like, oh shit, they get them for this. All right, good.
Yeah. So that's a couple things quickly, right? So as far as just that subversive humor, boy, they go really deep into this one way. Very, very hard R, right? I mean, the whole show is hard R, but this particular episode was, right? There's a twist near the end, though, that caught me completely by surprise, is where a character, a lead character, would say, in The Boys shows up. That caught me by surprise.
Right.
What he does is just as shocking as everything, violent that he does throughout the show, across the series. But the way how it ends, I was like, all right, I'm glad that they brought it back full circle.
This is a nitpick. This is a nitpick, but I already had one problem with it. It's kind of a nitpick, but whatever, it's not a big deal, which is, one of the central characters, her power set don't really make any sense to me.
Oh, you mean the ghost skill?
Right. So I couldn't really follow how. Yeah. Because here's the thing, if she can't interact with anything, then how can she see and hear and talk? Like that kind of way. Like I don't know. So I get her powers, that means she can't touch stuff, right? But just don't know how to control that. And that's why I was enjoying it, but like if you think about it, some of these things like don't make sense in its own working logic. Yeah, that's how it's accepted for its conceit. Again, I try not to nitpick superpower shows, especially stuff like this. But you get my point, right? I was trying to say.
Yeah, of course. You can't help it because the powers is all about the powers, right? If I just have one character that I would say is my favorite though, is the slow-mo guy.
Yeah, no, that cracked me up.
His kills are like the funniest shit ever.
So stupid. His death, how he kills his dad is so stupid and silly, but it still works for what it was trying to. But it's so dotish. You can like, dude, just get up there. Like, what?
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it worked for what it was. Like,
It was,
this
it
story
did. It,
really worked for what they were trying to go for and make it work.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, for me, thoroughly enjoyed this. This was one of the funniest episodes of this season here, and easily one of the best in my opinion. Ashton, your quick thoughts on this episode here.
Yo, well, me, I am a big fan of the Rolls and his work. In fact, I just picked up 2 comic books that he did the cover art for, which is the Last Ronin issue 1, and yeah, I got him signed as well. So I was really excited for this episode. Yeah, yo, my nerd is unquestionable. But yeah, so this episode was fine, man. I really enjoyed it. It's exactly what you'd expect from his style of writing. It was basically a Rick and Morty episode set in the boys' universe, because in the boys' book there are a lot of characters that have tragic powers. I mean, obviously they just played it up for this episode, but it was good. I enjoyed it. Obviously, I also think his voice work is hilarious. Justin Roiland's voice work is hilarious. And so when I heard the voice of Paperman, which was trying to sound like a adolescent or a teenage Morty, I cracked up.
Yes.
I almost died of laughter. I was like, yo, this is so hilarious. I can't wait for Morty to reach this age. But yeah, loved it. Can't complain. That was a good one. It's not the favorite, but that one was really good.
Right. Ricardo, your quick thoughts on this episode here.
Yeah, that's all I just mentioned earlier. Yeah, this just absolutely funny, really well done. Some of the logic don't really make sense, to be honest. But like for what it was, I was enjoying it. That character could come back though, like the way how they ended with two and things. Like, okay, all right, I want to see what they're gonna do good for it. All right, cool.
Right. So next episode, while it's not one of the best, while it's not one of my like top favorites, it is one of the most impressive that I've seen though. And yeah, it is pretty funny, but in an incredibly dark way, which I love. Episode 3, I'm Your Pusher, right? So this one, yeah, well, I guess, Ashley, you could tell me, they more or less kind of established that it's based off of the comic books itself, right? Right? So we see our boy Butcher, right? But it doesn't look like Butcher, but I assume this is the way how he looks in comics, right?
Right, yeah. So that was the truest look at the boys there. We're talking about bald head, Simon Pegg looking, Dewey or Davy or whatever.
Oh yeah, Simon Pegg was a voice in this episode, but yeah, he was Wee Hughie. He was Wee Hughie. Huey. Sorry, right, yeah. And basically, it's just basically him running into this drug dealer. He's called himself Udi, right? So he's a guy who pretty much sells drugs to the soups themselves, right? Yeah. And you see certain characters, and with their drug of choice, like that makes sense, right? There's one who loves heroin. That's all I'll say. It's really fucked up, but he loves heroin, right? And basically, Butcher just being the mofo that he is, like, look, we want you to get back at the 7, but there's this one character, his name escapes me right now, who's being honored in the city right now, so we want to get at him specifically.
Right, yeah, this guy is his ability is like flight, but really fast flight, apparently.
Yeah. And
And-
that leads to just, it starts off pretty embarrassing for this guy, boy, but it just ends up being devastating. And all the while, it is hilarious, though, just hilarious. Yeah. So while I wasn't the biggest fan of this episode here, though, I thought that animation-wise, this was just damn impressive throughout, though. And just the choice of music, just the mere fact that they ended the song with Curtis Mayfield's Pusher Man, that was just a stroke of genius. Yeah, exactly. But I just love how dark the humor is. Just like Butcher, like, this is gonna fuck all you up. That's just it. I think if it was more than that, I would enjoy it. But because it's just Butcher saying, okay, I'm just gonna fuck all you up this one time, it just make it work for me, Yeah, but I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, why this one works is because it relies on that whole the kind of blind spots of the Vought company, like they clearly turn a blind eye to a bunch of their actions. But yeah, that is where the boys just take advantage, and there's a perfect example of this case now. I really enjoyed how it works out, how they set this up for what it was. I love this episode. Great episode. And what happens at the end when they say quote unquote 2 for the price of 1 is really well done.
Oh yes,
it is like
I love it. Yeah. And also points to Jason Isaacs for voicing Butcher, man. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Ashton, your thoughts on I'm Your Pusher?
Yeah, so the art style of that was very much inspiration from the comic book. I would say that's the closest thing
Yeah.
to the comic book. And even the kind of story they told, it's like they pulled it from the pages. So I feel like that was more of honoring the actual boys, like the show, the actual comic. Like they actually had a chance to do it within that animation, and I think it was great. And but that right there is really and truly Butcher's motivation. Like to have them also off themselves. To him, is he thinks it's funny. He thinks that's entertainment. That's entertainment for him as well, right? Um, it was good, boy. It was good. Still not the favorite, but it was good. I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah.
that. I'm gonna say that till I hit the favorite. When I hit the favorite, I'll be like, yeah, the favorite.
Yeah. All right, so episode 4 we have Boyd in 3D, and I just found out that it was actually written by McGill Ilana Glazer from Broad
Right.
City and the brother
Yeah.
Elliot, right? This one has, how would say, boy, like I enjoy the premise of it, right? Which is
Right.
basically this guy, his name is Boyd. He's just the everyman basically, right? There's a neighbor of his, really attractive, named Cherry, who he wants to get with, but it's just I don't know, right? Look, she dumped her ex or whatever, right? So he decides that he's going to be like this. He's taking part in this experimental transformation cream, basically from Voight. So what that does is that it basically, like, once he applies it to his face, he looks like he has the chiseled face of Homelander, right? And then, well, through some circumstances, he hooks up with Cherry. Cherry ends up taking some too, and she becomes his cat lady, and they get tuned up by that,
So,
right?
Yeah. Right. So how it works is that it works kind of like a social media, weapon effectively. This perfect thing
Yeah.
to make you cater to your aesthetics, and it's just tie into that. Because I love how they target them via social media though. Like
Yes.
wherever this universe version of Instagram is.
Yeah.
They straight up target the man with some ad, and it's like, all right, well, yeah, you're gonna enjoy this because
Yeah.
you're shallow and a piece of trash. So here's one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I love just quickly. The art style I thought worked for me. The way how it just touched specifically on social media, like Instagram, for example, how you just see like a bunch of emojis floating up when they text and all that. It totally works, right? Well, I wasn't the biggest fan of the montages or the choice of montages used, because they cover so much time in like a couple of minutes or even like a minute, right? Because you had to show the ups and downs of the relationship. Like I felt if they had just kind of show things a little bit more instead of having to rely on the montages, I would have enjoyed that more. But what they covered, though, yeah, totally worked for me. I thought it made sense in the message and theme of the story.
That's kind of look confusing to me in the conceit because of the big quote unquote twist at the end. Because my thing is that when you do a twist like that at the end, and then you have to ask your question, well, exactly you work out this information as it is. That is normal, like normal sci-fi nitpicky stuff, right? Like where does the information come from? Is that part of the power set or not? Again, me being nitpicky for a show like this not the most helpful, but you get the point, right? Like I do.
I don't think that. I think it was just all in his head, though. So I want to try to be a little.
But then there's no question how he worked that out in his head. Like that is how that going to play out.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like logically, it doesn't make sense, right? But what I would say without spoiling it for you guys listening is that they pull something like a Brazil ending. If you've ever seen Terry Gilliam's Brazil, it's like, oh, everything's fine, and then they just pull the rug from you and tell you, yo, this is really what's going on, and you're like, oh shit, that was dark.
Right.
So they kind of do that in the end, right? But still, you had to think about, well, everything that we've seen, like, how did all that play? Like, was this just how he saw things playing out, but then how? It just leaves you asking how. Like, I get the message, I get the point of it, and it just ends on a really subversive note, which I really appreciate. But still, it's still the why, Is there the why?
If that's the case that does he set himself up earlier? Like, when did he get this information? You see, because he's supposedly so idealistic about his girl and the world, right? So he work out all of that cynicism. You see my point?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only issue. Like, was that part of the power set? Does he read minds? Does he, we're getting information about to think about that. Whoever.
Yeah, and because the show is centered on superheroics, you kind of have to ask that question, right?
Right.
Yeah, but other than that, though, despite the the rocky end to this though. I enjoyed it. I really appreciate the message of it. I love how they just carry it to its highest to its extreme basically. Even though for me I just felt like they relied too much on montage to tell the story, right? But other than that though, yeah, I dug this for what it was, man. Yeah, Ricardo, anything else you want to weigh in on this episode?
Like as I say, other than that weird logical conceit at the end, that it was pretty good. This had the same art style as Venture Brothers, I think so. I can't remember if that was the case. But I
Right.
was just enjoying all of that. But one thing I appreciate about this is all the different art styles that they keep going forward as it is. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one as well.
Right. Ashton, your thoughts on Boyd in 3D?
Yeah, not one of my faves. It was alright. That correct me if I'm wrong. Boyd is the one where they use the face cream to change
Right.
it. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Not really my thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was. I mean, for expanded universe lore and expanded universe understanding, that's why I think these shows are good, right? Because now they show you that Vought does more than just whatever they claim to do. They do makeup stuff, they do superhero stuff, they do philanthropy stuff. They do whatever they can do to make money, like an evil corporation would. And I like how they show that these are the other things that Vought is involved in. The end of that episode though, that was as I say, that was very boys-ish. So that was good. Enjoy that.
Yeah. Right. So next episode we have is BFFs, right? If I could be honest with this, Jed, this episode was shit. Like literally.
Yeah,
but
literally,
right?
This is the Aquafina episode, right?
This is the Aquafina one.
This was my least favorite, yeah.
You're right. Here's the but though. I was still cracking up at this because they literally had the balls to just go as far as they did with this, right? So yeah, this is written by Aquafina. She actually voices the main character and a couple more. Like I was actually like listening to the character voice, like, wait, no, that's Aquafina. Like she like it sounds like she pitch shifts she voice a little bit, or maybe it's just her talking in a much lower register, but it is her, right? And basically she's just this girl and she have these two friends of hers who can act like bitches around her and whatnot, right? And she ends up stealing this Compound V because, like, she was trying to get weed from this drug dealer guy who, of course, is played by Seth Rogen, right? So she takes the Compound V, and then afterwards, this third of hers comes out and has a personality and has a name and all that kind of stuff. And they run afoul of the deep of all people.
Right.
And it's just her figured out what her power is, right? Now, this is dumb as hell. The story premise, everything is dumber. But what made it work for me, though, is how it just felt like it was a parody of anime. I'm not sure what type of anime it is, because I'm not really a fan of that style of anime anyway. But I know it was poking fun at anime. Because of that, that's why I was laughing at it. That's why I had fun with it. But yes, it is least favorite. It is it is. You know, I don't want to say it's the worst out of all of them, though, but yeah, as far as like favorites go, this is least, right? But just because of how irreverent the humor was, because it just went and say, yes, we just going to do toilet humor throughout and make it look like this really captivating and endearing anime, you're gonna have fun with it. That's how I felt watching this, though, you know. So that's just my thought. Like, it's not the best episode, but because it was just so literally batshit dumb, I just had fun with it, man. So, Ashton, you have any thoughts on BFFs?
Yeah, man. You know, it was hilarious, and I know what the kind of arts they're talking about. It's kind of like a Steven Universe kind of, but more on the anime-ish side.
Right. Yes,
that's how I describe it. Yeah, man, it was just a weird episode. Like I said again, the boys, the source material is not your everyday typical source material. So having a character like that who does their main powers is very believable, unfortunately. Like those are the kind of normal characters that would be existing in that universe, basically. I know when we review one episode that's coming up soon, I believe is the next one. That guy's powers is so freaking useless, is amazing.
Oh, what's that, sorry?
Hawk gloves or some shit like that?
All right, yeah, the hammer, right, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Right. So Ricardo, your thoughts on BFFs? I already know you don't like it.
Yeah. I don't love this one. Again, it boiled down to the humor for you. It wasn't. I didn't hate it or anything like that to say, wait, this is real complete rubbish and I don't waste my time with it or everything like that. But yeah, I was just underwhelmed with it. It's up to you if you find it funny. Does it work? Yeah, kind of. But is the humor and I'm not really a fan of that. And then the story was kind of weird. Another thing that kind of confused me is that they got a male for the voice of the main character because I couldn't follow.
No, well, right. No, the main character was voiced by Aquafina, but
that was Aquafina. Like I thought the shit was Aquafina, the third.
No. Well, it's her too, right? But that one confused me at first because I thought Sky was a guy, like the way how the voice was low, and then when I listened close, like, oh shit, that is Aquafina. But I feel like they pitch shift she voice a little bit to make her sound more manly. But I know she have a low voice, but it just sounded like really manly in a sense,
That is a weird creative choice. That's all I'll say. Well,
but she have a way of talking. When I picked it up, I was like, that's it, right? But anyway, right. So now we get to what is, in my opinion, my favorite episode. It's not the best episode, but it's my favorite episode, Nubian versus Nubian. Right. Everything that they touch on worked for me. So basically what it is that we have, what seemingly was a Black Panther ripoff that would be Nubian Prince, who is voiced by Don freaking Cheadle of all people. When I saw that name in
I was so shocked that they get this big voice with.
Yeah, but when he's fighting this character of Groundhog, who, as you say, Ashton, has hammers for hands, which they play to hilarious effect, right? He meets Nubia, who is voiced by McGill Aisha Tyler. It's like,
she wrote the episode as well, I think.
Yeah, she did as well too, right? Yeah, so they fall in love. They actually hit it off immediately. They have a daughter, and now we cut to in the present now, and the marriage on the rocks. They consider divorce, and the daughter tries to find a way to get them back together. So what I love about this show here is that they touch on the kayfabe aspect of the void, right? Especially the way how they promote these superheroes. Yeah, basically the fight that we see at the beginning of the episode was fake, right? But her idea is that, well, if my parents fight Groundhog again, it will spark that passion in them again, basically, right? And you see how that plays out to the very end, which I totally love. Even the choice of song at the end, though, brilliant in my opinion. But the voice acting worked. When I saw Don Cheadle as Nubian Prince, I was like, "You serious? What?"
Yeah.
That catch me completely by surprise, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised they get voice actors, and that guy is top man, John DiMaggio, for that, right?
Yeah, John DiMaggio, sorry, who plays Groundhog. Groundhog is my favorite character in that whole show. Everything that I was seeing, that whole thing about how I can't open doors because I have hammers for hands. Come on, let me in. And he tell you, I'm not a pedophile, like all that stuff. This dialogue worked perfectly, in my opinion, right? And that's where they carry the whole kayfabe aspect of the superhero stuff. Totally worked for me. So, yes, hands down my favorite episode. The ending was brilliant. Everything about this episode was brilliant. Ricardo, agree or disagree?
Yeah. Not my personal favorite, but I still really enjoyed it a lot. This was just really well done, really clever. Conceit again, mostly voice acting. Everybody's bouncing off each other and making it real funny. And yeah, what they do in the ending with the daughter, and then the song they use at the end, they're just like, okay, that just funny. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. But that was hard though. It was good. This was a good one.
Yeah. Ashton, I know this is your favorite episode, so yeah, take it away. Why you love it so much?
This is actually not my favorite episode. We're actually closing in on my favorite episode. But
all right. Well, sorry.
I did like this episode. You know what I liked about this episode? When after they take it through the first flashback fight of Nubian, right?
It's Nubia and Nubian Prince.
I remember laughing so much about that shit. Like, that was so hilarious to me. I was dying of laughter. I was like, look at this shit. Look at this. But anyway, when he dropped the accent after the fight.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This corny ass guy, yo. That was all parts of it. That was all parts of what made it charming and fun. Of course, they deal with a real, like everything about the boys, they're dealing with real serious issues. So that episode had a serious underlying tone, which kind of ended off in a kind of funny-ish kind of underlying tone, I would say. with the daughter's attitude towards them after everything that transpired now. But yeah, boy, it was unfortunate that what's his name, boy? Hammer Hands?
Groundhog.
Yeah, the washout dread though.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Real washout.
What the man says, I am not a pedo. Man, shut
I
it
love
up.
that. I am not a pedophile.
Not a pedo!
Yeah, I'm not a pedo.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And the art style in that episode was actually one of the higher quality ones, in my eyes, in art that I like. So, yeah, it was good. Liked it, enjoyed it very much so.
Yeah. Right, so 2 more episodes to go, right? So this one here, boy, like right now I'm wrestling with this one and the final episode as to which one of these two is the absolute is the better of the two, boy. And yeah, this is subject to debate in my opinion, right? For me at the moment this is second best for me, right? In terms of just story, but especially that artwork, boy. So I'm talking about John and Sun-hee, right? Yeah. So this one uses more like a South Korean style of animation here. Like I was watching it and it looked anime, like looked Japanese, but like because they established early on that the wife of the main character John is South Korean. It's like okay, it's not Japanese per se, right? But it does have somewhat of a Akira feel to it, where it's like this one character and there's this power inside of her. Basically, it's this cancer that the wife was going through, and John, steals his compound V because he was working at this janitor, and he thought that the compound V would have saved her, but it actually grew the cancer, and it just becomes this this blob, this life force that just sucks everything, like everything living and sucks them and kills them, right?
Yeah, it just becomes super cancer, basically.
Exactly, yeah. But it just has such an Akira feel to it, especially the way how that cancer grows. It's very anime. Like you have that weird creature thing that kind of roams and just devours everything in its sight, right? Think Princess Mononoke, for example, right?
Right, yeah.
But is the heart in this exactly, with the forest. But is the heart and emotion in this story that caught me completely by surprise, way. Yes, it is really violent. Yes, you get some disturbing imagery, like when you see stuff like where animals getting devoured, boy, and it was like Jesus Christ, boy. But it's just that heart and emotion between the two lead characters, boy, that legit got to me, boy. Like I wouldn't lie, boy. My tears were nearly shed though, especially that ending, boy. Whew, jeez, boy. And even better, Dre, like at the end, I see Andy Samberg wrote this.
Wow.
I'm like, what? All right, bro, do your thing, do your thing, do your dance. I'm not sure what to make of this rescue, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers thing project you have lined up, but dude, do your thing, Jed. Do your thing, Jed. So at the moment, I can't say right now that this is like my favorite. Like, sorry, this is the best episode of the season here. I wouldn't be mad. And I wouldn't, argue with you if you take it as though. But yeah, hands down, this is one of the best episodes of this show. I would say of this series, bar none, man. Ashton, your thoughts on John and Sun-hee?
It was sweet. You know what I mean? It's one of those episodes that I'm sure if my wife used to watch cartoons with me, like she would have probably cried for that episode. But yeah, I think it was nice, and I think it was kind of sad that, the way to defeat the cancer, the super cancer, I guess, that was formed from her, was that she had to like give up herself, but art style, as you said, I think Fireflies and Princess Mononoke quoted as the art style. Matthew?
No, well, the creature itself is very much like like kind of a mixture of Princess Mononoke and Akira, like when Tetsuo assumes his final form, if you remember the film, like that. Yeah.
Right. Funny that you mentioned Akira. I just picked up the entire run of the comic books actually. So
I need to finish read that. I reached halfway and I realized halfway is where the movie began. Like, oh shit, wow, okay,
Yeah.
Like, all right, that's all the movie, so I don't need to read the rest.
That's like that's a collector milestone for myself, though.
Sorry?
See, that was a little collector's milestone for myself to get all those Akira books.
Oh yeah. That is a must own, though. I mean, you have it, right? So yeah, props to you, man. But yeah, anything else you want to weigh in on?
Style of this was classic though. It was classic, that kind of classic anime. So I really enjoyed it as well.
All right, so Ricardo, your thoughts on this episode, man?
Yeah, this is a great one as well. Yeah, again, much like as they say, just kind of really body horror stuff, kind of disturbing, aesthetics with respect to appeal to cancer and how sad and dark the story is. And that's why the whole the boys' universes work is just the cavalier, attitude towards just really, really tragic stories. And they make it work. I don't have any problems with any of it for what it is. Not my favorite, but I rate it real high.
Right. And last but not least, now, agree to disagree. Now we get what is, in my opinion, the best episode of this season here. 1 + 1 = 2, right? You really had to dig in a little deep to figure out what that means, right? Essentially, this is the Homelander backstory, right? We see Homelander on his first mission. He's teamed up with Black Noir basically to handle this hostage situation at this chemical plant. And we see just how his ideals are more or less twisted and distorted to the point that he becomes an early bit, you just see the early beginnings of the asshole that we love to hate, right? In Homelander, boy. But yeah, for me, this was the best episode. This is easily the darkest of this series, bar none. I love that they actually saved the darkest for last, in my opinion, though. Artwork is pretty decent for what it is, not anything stellar and whatnot, right? But what really worked with this one was the character development, though, of Homelander. Because again, this is not the Homelander that we see in the series, right? There's a much younger version, right? But you really see how Voight really messes his mind up early on, and how he's presented as this as the Superman type figure, right? But now he's put in a position where he has to try to do the right thing, but he just ends up losing his shit basically, right? But what I love is just a little thing though. I love though is just how they compare to Black Noir. Him just Black Noir just being silent throughout it, and it's a nice little moment where Black Noir just basically ends the situation, what was going on, but he does it in such a quick way. He doesn't even think about it. He just does it. But it feels like the most practical way to get that problem done, instead of literally shooting I-beams through people's bodies and all that kind of stuff and splitting them in two, which is what Homelander did. That's the way how he solved that was great, and how they more or less kind of cleaned everything up. I love that. Yeah. I love that. But yeah, for me, best episode bar none, man. Just mainly because of how they explore that character of Homelander. And in a way, yes, you're supposed to hate Homelander. I mean, he's an asshole, right? He's a dick, right? But here though, you kind of understand. Oh, this is more or less how he became that way. You could tell afterwards he probably did more missions and just got more and more desensitized and just well, yeah, I could just kill whoever I want to, but people still gonna respect me because I'm a superior, right? Right? But I love this episode, man. But yeah, Ricardo, your thoughts on this episode here, man?
Yeah, the girl he was with, I don't know this character. She was somebody dies.
Oh, that's Madeline, that's a young Madeline.
Okay.
And they actually got Elizabeth Shue, who I was surprised, oh yeah, okay, they got her to do the voice, right.
Cool. I couldn't pick up who this was exactly. All right,
yeah, I got a little confused about listening voice, oh, it's you. All right. I love how they kind of set up their relationship first, because especially you see how it turns for the worse in the first season, but it was interesting seeing how they work together early on though. But I talk enough. Ricardo, your thoughts on this episode?
Yeah. This is also one of my favorites. It's probably my favorite episode, to be honest. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. This basically is a Homelander origin story. It really, really works out. It is just setting up how he becomes cynical for the first time, kind of thing. That make a lot of sense of doing that way and making it sell and work. And it clearly setting up continuity for the future of the story, for what it is. I can't be mad at any of this. This was pretty good for me. The thing with it is that what catch me is how they find the answer question, what has happened if that guy actually fight Homelander? Because remember they always frame him as being more dangerous than Homelander somehow.
Black Noir.
Black Noir, right?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, how are they gonna have him frame him? And yeah, they just kind of do the Superman Batman thing, with it, which is, but it's as if, what if Batman really don't give a fuck? Like, it's that.
Yeah.
They play with that really well. It's like, oh, okay, right. That's how that fight will play out. They make it work. You will run from them a lot, and then you just straight up just exploit collateral damage. In that sense, so it's like, all right, that answer that question, because I was wondering, like, because one of the big questions of the boys at this TV show version of it is, which is, how exactly are they going to keep Homelander in check if you really go ham, right? If you really just go have a meltdown, how exactly is the Vought Company going to keep him in check? It's not clear. It's still not clear to me. Like, the only explanation is apparently the sun, maybe, but not even that. That don't make any sense either. I forget Giancarlo's character's name, but he seems to have some kind of, kill switch or something like that in his back pocket, but it's still not too clear.
And it was cool seeing him in this episode, by the way. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So this actually really addresses it much better in terms of like what they're doing with it and exactly how you just keep him in check, or what they're trying to go for and do with the storytelling. I love this one. Solid episode. Yeah, and it is pong for pong the best episode in my opinion.
Right. Ashton, to close things off, what were your thoughts on this final episode, man?
Right. So this episode was actually my favorite episode. I actually enjoy the art style a lot. It's very similar to the new wave DC art style, which I really appreciate because DC's animation keeps smashing it. What I like about this episode is that it does show you a young, inexperienced Homelander, and you see him instantly get jealous of Black Noir just because Black Noir at this time is he's the number one hero, right? Because Vought has a ranking system of heroes and due to in terms of popularity. Yeah, man, it was good. And what I liked about it was his naivety. He was pulling moves like what he read in comic books and or saw in cartoons to try and like apply to quote unquote their real world scenario now, because you have to take you have to take it in the context that I am saying that he's taking comic and cartoons, and it is a cartoon that we're talking about, right? But he applied what he saw in comics and cartoons into his real life scenario, and the outcome wasn't favorable, and he did it a couple times within that episode. So you see the inexperience throughout the episode. It's not anything brand new. When you see all the blunders he made as a young hero, but then you quickly see how they as heroes deal with these type of problems, which to me was even more scary. Like when you think about these characters being scary guys, that was an even more scary way to deal with the problem. All in all, I would give this episode like I could have watched a whole hour and a half of that episode basically, but
I know, right?
Loved it, yeah. So yeah, that episode was great, guys. Yeah.
All right. So in closing, man, the boys Diabolical, or should I say the boys presents Diabolical, really impressed me, man. I did not expect to enjoy this as much as I did. Like, I just thought there's just gonna be like just these random episodes with just a bunch of gratuitous violence and sex, but I love how they actually like connected it to the world of the boys, right? The decision to have it center a lot on Compound V, BOB that work with fans of the show, but I think it works in terms of just establishing how these seemingly normal characters just get roped up into these weird, extraordinary, and pretty much fucked up situations, right? But I just love how the art style just switched with every episode. Though, you will have of course with shows like this, with the anthology shows like this, you will have your favorite episode, you'll have your least favorite episode, you will have stuff that you just have in the middle like you really enjoy, but then you have ones you'll just put up there as just some of the best that you've seen, right? But yeah, this is a strong season here, though. I don't know if you'll get a second season, and that's actually something to bring up too, because look, season 3 The Boys coming out in June, so I don't know if the plan is to just have another one in between 3 and 4. I don't know what the plan is with the rollout, or if there'll be any rollout of more of these shows, more of this show here going forward. I guess you'll see, right? But yeah, for now, rating-wise, I'm going to give this a decent, strong 4 out of 5, man. I think that this is absolutely worth checking out. But I will say that you have to at least be knowledgeable of the Boys TV series to really appreciate it. Just because it's not totally related to the series itself, right? Doesn't mean that you can just jump in blind. You have to know about the Seven. You have to know about Homelander. You have to know about Compound V and Voight and all these things to get a gist of what's going on. And then all the other stuff like the animation style and the stories and all that will fall into place. But you have to know those basics going in, right? But yeah, this is another win for Amazon by again just pushing the envelope with animation. I mean, they did it with last year with Invincible. They did it this year with The Legend of Vox Machina. So yeah, let's see what else they have to bring in, cartoon wise. Going forward, man. So Ricardo, final thoughts on Rated.
I dug this for what it is. It just was a nice little anthology series. It's solid, just bridge a little, just do a bunch of stories, answers a bunch of little small nitpicky questions. And yeah, they make it work for what it is. I can't be mad at anything like this. Rating wise, I get like a nice little 8 out of 10. Overall, I enjoyed it.
All right, and Ashton, to close off, final thoughts on Rated.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed The Boys, the TV show, if you enjoy the comic books, I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy this cartoon as well, this cartoon series. I think it was really good, and I hope that more properties go around this way. Like, I would love to see some more Star Wars visions. I don't know about you guys, but that's just me.
Right.
And I would rate this 8 out of 5, 8.5 out of 10 conflicting emotions. Because that's what The Boys is make you feel conflicted about your emotions.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, guys. So The Boys presents Diabolical is the real deal, man. It's a nice little, appetizer, I would say, for season 3 of The Boys. I do hope to enjoy season 3 of that, though. And of course, you can look out for a review of that season here on this program.